with just a few hours before President Samia Suluhu Hassan's two-day state visit in Rwanda begins. Businessmen and women from Tanzania and Rwanda are hailing it for its economic significance, especially from an investment standpoint. Seshnare with the details.
Tanzanian businessmen working here in Rwanda have praised the country's conducive investment climate, pointing out that the country's policies are very good for business.
For all these times, we haven't faced any challenges from the government here. The investment sector is well programmed, and there is no bureaucracy, and we are happy for that. We are happy working in Rwanda, and normally the government is giving us all the assistance, and there is no any such big challenges which we face without getting any assistance from the government. We are fighting for the increment of throughput because it's been a long since this price has been fixed. It was 2014. Now it's 2021. Everything has gone up. Spare parts and everything. The life has gone up. The dollar has rise up. The faranga has gone down. So it cost us. That one is cost us. So. But we are in a negotiation with the ministry and the rural. We hope they will take it into consideration.
Rwanda's trade with the rest of the world relies heavily on the Central Corridor, with up to 450 trucks crossing the Rusumo border with Tanzania every day. Yet Rwandan businessmen and women point out that doing business in Tanzania is not easy, with companies established there required to have big Tanzanian shareholders, working visas not easy to obtain, and Rwandan goods allowed to sit for just 2 weeks at Dar es Salaam's port. Yet some other countries in the EAC are allowed up to 30 days, issues they feel should be addressed. Tanzania's High Commissioner in Rwanda notes that the visit by President Samia Suluhu Hassan will benefit people in both countries.
The visit is very important because Rwanda and Tanzania are neighboring countries, and we needed to strengthen our relations and cooperation between these two countries. So this visit is part of that mission. Rwanda is very important for Tanzania, of course. Even Tanzania is very important to Rwanda because we are two neighboring countries, and we must have cordial relations between these two countries. And of course, we must chart out the areas of cooperation because our people are trading together. Rwanda is using Dar es Salaam port, and therefore that is what is all about the importance of these two neighboring countries. Our relations will enable us to grow economically, and of course to have good relations is also good because we are neighboring countries. And then if our relations are good, our people will do cross-border trade without any problem.
According to the UN's Commodity Trade Statistics database, Rwandan exports to Tanzania amount to $295 million annually, while imports to Rwanda from Tanzania are valued at $523 million.
Those working to promote cooperation between the people of Rwanda and Tanzania are noting on the significance of President Samia Suluhu Hassan's visit on numerous fronts. Earlier, we spoke to Dr. John Musemakweli, who is the chairman of the Rwanda-Tanzania Friendship Association.
Dr. Musemakweli, let me begin by asking you this. In light of the recent developments when it comes to Rwanda-Tanzania relations, what does this visit by Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan reflect on the desire by both countries to further strengthen their already good bilateral ties?
Well, I don't have much to tell about that, but much as I know, we still have good relationship with Tanzania as Rwanda. And I'm sure she's going to strengthen that relationship. She's going to add more from what her successor was doing, and I mean the predecessor. And I'm sure what we are doing right now to maintain that kind of relationship, she will continue with it, and I'm sure she'll add more. I do understand that she has a lot of things to do with the neighboring countries. She said about it some months ago when she was taking the office, that she was one of the things she's going to do is to strengthen the relationship between Tanzania and the neighbors. And that is, I'm sure, part of our objective in this trip to Rwanda.
Rwanda relies heavily on the central corridor that runs from Dar es Salaam to the DRC for imports and exports. What sort of economic impact would the strengthening of Rwanda-Tanzania cooperation in other sectors, where a lot of potential has already been identified, have on this particular sector when it comes to economics?
The corridor, this central corridor, Tanzania to Kigali to DRC, is very important economically to the three countries. First, DRC and Rwanda, we all import up our goods from abroad through the Dar es Salaam port. And the Dar es Salaam port has been a hub for many years for the countries that border Tanzania, that is Zambia, DRC on the other side, Burundi, Rwanda, and even Uganda. You can imagine how big that port is and how it's important to our economies, because for one, I think probably 80% of our goods comes to go through that place, even for the eastern DRC. And even the part of DRC, I understand there are many things that goes through Zambia towards DRC, and this makes the whole business very important economically, because in Rwanda we are in the middle of DRC and Tanzania. Most of the goods that goes to the DRC passes that through Tanzania, through Rwanda, I mean. And actually, our traders are benefiting because we have got people who have got transport facilities that transport goods from Dar es Salaam to DRC. The vehicles are owned by Rwandans, others are owned by Tanzanians. You can imagine that kind of trade that is going in between. So this is what I see during the visit of Her Excellency Samia Suluhu, that she will come here to try to strengthen that kind of trade between our three countries. And that is very important economically to the people of Tanzania, the people of Rwanda, and to the people of DRC. It's quite economically important.
And finally, as the chairman of the Rwanda-Tanzania Friendship Association, how would you say the president's visit helps when it comes to relations between Rwandans and Tanzanians in general, moving away from the significance of the visit from a diplomatic standpoint?
You see, Rwatapa is a friendship association between Tanzania and Rwanda who have been living there. It is Tanzania Rwanda Friendship Association. We do a lot about trade and the relationship, which are social and even beyond that. And as much as I know, we have been working with the ambassador, the High Commissioner of Tanzania in Rwanda, by organizing Rwandans and Tanzanians on the other border and the other parts of the country, to make sure that we are building a relationship between the people-to-people relationship that would actually enable, first, the cross-border trade between Tanzania and Rwanda, also facilitating our traders, traders who have got business in Tanzania, we're trying to facilitate them through many ways, because if you are doing trade in another country, there are certain obstacles and things that can make it not trade well. We've been using the embassy in the Rwanda and Tanzania officials that are responsible for trade and investment to make our traders make trade very well without any problem. We have removed a lot of obstacles that have been going around without unnecessarily. We have done actually a lot to make sure our traders who have got business in Tanzania are doing it fairly and actually in a very, very conducive way. The relationship is, I'm sure the ambassador, the High Commissioner of Tanzania and Rwanda is very much aware of that, and he's going to take the president next week what is happening here. I was talking to him this morning, and he has been recalled home. But as much as I know, he will make sure the incoming one working with us again in that same motive of building the people-to-people friendship between Tanzania and Rwanda.
Dr. John Musemakweli, thank you so much for speaking to Rwanda Television.
Thank you so much.